Hey traders, this video is about the multi-time period charts indicator. You can see here I have it on I have it selected on my chart right here. It quite literally says multi-time period charts, and we have these green and red boxes on the chart, which also means I know I have the indicator working and being displayed to me. So now let's talk about how I got this up and running. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is click the Indicators, Metrics, and Strategies menu at the top of the chart here. And I, of course, could use these tabs to find this indicator, but what I'm going to do in this video is just remind you that I can type in multi-time period. And just like that, I have multi-time period charts. Now, I have favorited this indicator before, so it's in my favorites. You can do the same. I can click this once and you'll see it appear on my chart. I can click it again and you'll see it appear on my chart. I can even click it again, and depending on the plan I have, I can run this indicator several times for different time periods. But let me also remind you that if you click Show Description, you will also access this Help Center article where you can watch all of the videos just like this and learn more about the tool. Now I'm going to exit out of here, go to multi-time period charts, click the trash can. I'm going to delete these, and I just want to focus on one multi-time period chart indicator, which you can see right here before your eyes. Now, right here, it says settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click settings because this is really the best way to get you to understand this indicator in the quickest way possible. Now, the next thing I need to do is turn off auto time frame. This is turned on by default, which gives you an automatic time frame. I'm going to show you that in just a second here. But what I'm really going to do with this indicator is look for the time frame button here with this drop down and click. Now, I want this indicator to show me every week of trading on this chart and whether it was up or down by coloring the box red or green. So I click 1 week, I click OK, and here it is right before my eyes. Now, let me count the candlesticks so you really understand this. So I'm looking at a chart of BTCUSD, daily chart. So each candlestick is a day. I set my multi-time period charts indicator to 1 week. So watch as I count the candlesticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 candlesticks, a full week. And it's red. Here's another full week that's red. Here's a full week that's green. So now it's probably starting to make sense to you. These green boxes tell me that this was a full week of trading. And if it's green, it means it closed higher in that week. And if it's red, it means it closed lower in that week. Now, for those of you who are still getting started in markets, what do I mean by higher and lower? Let's just make sure we break this down, right? So this box this week starts here. It's a Monday. You can see that if you read the labels down here. So it's a Monday. You can see price of Bitcoin here is about 105,000. Well, if you move our mouse all the way over here to the Sunday, follow the labels. It says Sunday, this candle. We can see it was above 108,000. So it closed higher than it opened when the week started. So now the box is shaded green. We can look at this another way. For this red box here, it was about 109,000 at the start here. And by the time we closed this week, it was 104,000. So it's colored red. It was lower. Now, when you zoom out, you can see all of the weeks that Bitcoin traded and whether it was higher or lower in that week. So you can even count the candles to really ensure that you're getting the visual you want. Now, if I double click here, I have 1 week, I can click any of the time intervals that are available to me. And really the next one I want to show you is 1 month. So if I click 1 month and click OK, zoom out, now I've got all these 1 month boxes here that are being shown to me. So I can see the performance over a month. And again, if you want to check that out, we can go here, Tuesday, the April 1st, and then move our mouse here, Wednesday, April 30th. That's a full month, April 1st to April 30th. Right there before our eyes, a full month in a shaded box. Now, in addition to that, if we open up our settings menu again, we can even go down, say, to 3 hours. Of course, if we do 3 hours here, let's see this. Well, we're on a daily chart. So how are we really going to see those 3 hours? Well, in that case, we'll probably need to go to maybe a 4-hour chart of sorts. Let's see here if we get that 3 hours. Let's go here to a 5-minute chart. Right. So the key element here for this 3-hour chart is that we're looking at a 5-minute chart and each box is showing us this specific 3-hour window. So This is a way for you to zoom in at a granular level. Say you're trading on the 5-minute chart or watching these 5-minute charts, and you want to just see what's happened every 3 hours. Well, you can visualize that just as I demonstrated. So you pick your time interval. Let's say it's 1 minute. So here's 1 minute. Go up to your multi-time period charts, hit settings. And now let's look at, why don't we look at something like, how about every 10 minutes? Let's click OK. And now as you can see here, we've got every 10 minutes being shown to us. So multi-time period charts, you can look at the time period of your choice. Now, a few tips there, because you may have just noticed it, is you have to make sure your time interval is in line with the time period that you want to see. So I'm on a 1-minute chart. 1-minute chart, and I want to see every 10 minutes. Well, if I go to say if I turn my chart back into a daily chart, so not daily candles, well, how exactly could I ever see 10 minutes, right? It's just not going to work. You can't see 10-minute boxes if each candle represents a full day. So you have to make sure you have it constructed in a way that avoids that little tiny calculation mistake. I'm going to go back to 1 minute, and now here's our 1-minute candles, and each box is showing us if I believe we're at 10 minutes. So now you have a good feeling for how this works, and I want to dive into auto time frame. So if I click auto time frame, as you can see here, the box is just automatically adjusted. Now, auto time frame is very cool for those of you who just want to get an automatic time frame shown to you depending on the chart you're on, the interval you're on, the symbol you're looking at. So if I were to go, say, to Euro USD and click, now I've got these boxes here, as you can see. Well, just like that, I have got Euro USD and these specific boxes here. And they're being automatically shown to me. If I go to 1 minute, it's auto time frame. It is showing me the time period of choice on this time interval with this symbol. I'm going to go back to BTC USD. I'm going to go to daily, and I am going to go to settings, and I'm going to turn off auto time frame, and then I'm going to go back to where we started with 1 week. I have it unchecked, so now it's showing me 1 week. So now you know how to use this indicator and the fine details of it. Before I wrap up, I do want to walk you through the rest of the inputs features, the style and visibility. You're already familiar with visibility. We'll get to that at the end. It's the same for every indicator. These essentially are the visible features for you of where you want to see this indicator, whether it's on a 1-minute chart, hour chart, daily chart. Maybe you only want to see it on a weekly chart. You get to check and uncheck these visible time options. Now, if I go to inputs here, you do have calculation, which allows you different ways to calculate this indicator. And you'll notice high-low range is the most common, and it's default. Well, it's the very high of the range and the very low of the range. So that's how the box is being calculated. Here's the high, here's the low. True range, it's quite similar to high-low range, so you generally won't see these boxes change too often with that. If we go to Heikin Ashi, you naturally will see the boxes change, right? So look how these are actually, just watch the change here. So you can see on this box here, about 100,000 is the low. If we go to Heikin Ashi, it changes quite a bit. And that's because, as you know, Heikin Ashi takes into averages into its calculation. We have a full video on Heikin Ashi on our YouTube channel and in our help center. So if you want to learn more, check that out. But we're going to keep it a high-low range because that is the most standard way to generate the specific boxes and to get this multi-time period chart indicator going. Now, you also, as usual, can change the colors of each box. So let's talk about that. If, for example, a symbol is green over this specific time period of 1 week, it'll be green. But maybe you want it to be blue. You can change that to blue. You can also change the shading within as well. So if you wanted it to be, kind of more of a stronger color blue, you could do just that. Everyone has their own style or preference. So, have fun with this. Go try some different colors as you need. The choice is ultimately yours. Falling here, well, of course, if it's red, it's going to be red. So if we go to a red here, we can make this red, and we can make the fill a little more intense maybe. Let's see here. Let's drag this. There we go. And now it's a little more intense. Now, kind of hard to see the candles, but you get the idea because you have the ability to effectively, customize this to your exact needs. Now, the inputs in status line, well, as you know, your status on your chart, very important. Go to settings. Here's your status line. Your status line is up here at the top. All of the data you see here, the symbol, open, high, low, close, volume, buy, sell, multi-time period charts. Depending on the toggles you have on your status line, well, if we go here to settings and then check this or uncheck this, you can see it just tells us what the status is. What is it that we're looking at? And of course, this is something that you might find helpful if you are looking at charts with the auto time frame. And in addition to this, what is also quite important to utilize is that if you go to style, you of course can uncheck or check the boxes as needed. And once you get this feel for this indicator to this level, you'll have a full understanding of it and how it works. And go out there and try it. It's one of the best ways to get started. See what you can accomplish with this indicator, see if it works for you. You now know how to use it, you know all of the details, and it's up to you now to put it to work to your needs while charting and looking at symbols. So thanks so much for watching, and leave us your comments and feedback.